Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Weight Loss Wednesdays, where every Wednesday I'm going to be sharing with you my weight loss journey, what I eat in a day, and a bunch of other information that I hope is encouraging and helpful to you. Let me get right into it. I always start this out, not a doctor, medical professional, nutritionist. Always do your own research. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm going to chat with you guys today about 8 reasons I keep failing at diets or quote life eating plans, if you would like to call it that, and why I keep gaining the weight back. I'm going to get right into it. This is the 10th weight loss journey I've been on. I started at age 14 and I wasn't even that overweight then, maybe 10 or 15 pounds. But back in the late 1970s, 10 or 15 pounds overweight was seen as a lot. It's a lot different than now in 2024. So this is my 10th go around. I've done all different kinds of eating plans. And over the years, you know, there's pros and cons with all of them. But today I'm going to be sharing what has caused me to gain the weight back. So the first reason is calorie restriction or calorie counting and tracking for me was not sustainable because I felt like I would have to do that every day for the rest of my life. It was not only very time consuming, but it kept my focus on food all day. A lot of people I know that are naturally fit or what I would say a normal size, they don't think about food all day long. When they're hungry, they eat. When they're not hungry, they don't. They keep it simple. Well, with tracking and doing a calorie restriction and also, you know, calorie counting, it basically kept me thinking about food all day long. And I could do it for a while, and it was great when I saw results, but when I stopped seeing results, that's when I started going back to bad habits. Okay, number 2, FOMO, fear of missing out. And I remember this when I was young, and this was the mindset I had, and this was what I actually believed. I started getting a little bit chunky, and I'm talking I was 5'3", I weighed 138 pounds. I would love to weigh 138 pounds now, and I wore back then a size 11 or 13 in juniors, but my mom thought it was a little chunky. She thought, okay, you should not weigh more than 120, and so she put me on a quote diet. Well, it was okay for all the normal teenagers to eat the goodies. I had a diet plate of like cottage cheese and fruit cocktail and rye crisp crackers. Ask if I enjoyed those. No, I did not. And everyone else got to eat regular normal food. And I even got bullied for it. And so I always felt like I was missing out and that this was going to be my life. It was really a drag. Okay, number 3, which I kind of went over, and a lot of these overlap, that there's bad foods and good foods. And bad foods, which would be anything sugary or fattening, things that are not typically really good for our body and that don't provide nutrition whatsoever, you know, whether it's a cupcake, things like that. Those foods are only for people that are fit and trim. But for chubby teenagers or chubby young adults, we are not ever allowed to have something like that. Or as my mom would say, you could have a little sliver. Or she would maybe buy me something low fat or diet, like a little diet dessert, okay? I remember I really wanted pizza, but I couldn't have pizza because that's considered fattening. Well, then some of the TV dinners came out with their own little versions of a little mini pizza, and I could have that, like a diet pizza, if that makes sense. So basically, bad foods, good foods, and a lot of labeling. Number 4, and I remember when I was young, I always had a trouble eating small amounts, calorie restrictions. So if you are wanting to lose weight, you do need to lower your calories, okay, in order to be in a calorie deficit. Well, eating little small amounts or even a regular amount of food, I was always hungry after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I always wanted more food. What's interesting is I remember this when I was young. I remember we would go over to family for holiday meals, and I would have a holiday meal, and I never wanted to eat anything after that because I got to eat whatever I wanted. There was no restriction on me. I got really good and full. And in the evening, everyone else was going back for turkey sandwiches and things like that. Hey, Dawn, do you want a turkey sandwich? Do you want to fix something? Oh, no. Do you want a piece of pie? Oh, no, I'm full. And I remember that because I got to eat a decent amount. But normally, when I was at home, you have like a 3/4 of a cup of cereal, a piece of toast, you know, half a banana. Those types of things did not fill me up. A sandwich for lunch with maybe a couple chips and an apple and a few carrot sticks. I mean, honestly, that didn't stay with me. Now, what's interesting is if I would get to go out for breakfast and I got to eat a really good sized breakfast, you know, when we would go out to eat, it basically filled me up where I didn't even want dinner at night. And I was basically satisfied all day long. So that really was the portion control and calorie restriction for life was really tough. Number 5, because of the portion control, this is the biggest issue. And all I wanted was I kept thinking about food all day long and planning my next meal. I'd eat and I was not hungry after I ate, but I wasn't fully satisfied. So then I counted the hours until my next meal or portion controlled snack. Okay? And so that was very challenging. Another thing, number 6, with all these different eating plans I've been on, I've done modified paleo, I've done modified low carb. I call it modified because it was never 100%. I was never 100% keto, but I did do low carb, which was the most successful for weight loss, I do have to say. But you have to eliminate a lot of things, you know. If you want to do low carb, you got to eliminate pastas and grains and rices and things like that. And it was kind of expensive because I wanted to make all the fun foods, you know, and, you know, not that I could have kept it more simple, but I wanted to enjoy the journey, which brings me to number 7. I basically got bored. And the reason I got bored is everything's great when you're getting results, but when you stop getting results and you're having to track everything and it takes so much time and so much thought, you start to veer back slowly into bad habits. And then it's like a domino effect. And number 8, which basically brings me to all this, when you stop getting results, you end up quitting and veering back to bad habits. That's why so many people say, oh, Dawn, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. Well, I'm going to say one thing to that. It's not a lifestyle change if you're not enjoying it. You have to enjoy whatever you're doing. Some of you have written in the comments that you absolutely love carnivore and you've lost weight and it's changed your life. Some of you absolutely love the plant-based lifestyle. You love it. Some of you really enjoy what you're doing. You make creative recipes and you thrive on that lifestyle, which is perfect for you. Each person, each individual has to find something that works for them as an individual. And I think that I have found it after umpteen times of trying since age 14 to age 59. But you know what? I'm a work in progress, and the good news is I haven't given up, and I have lost 15 pounds in 2 months in May and June, and I'm in the process of losing more weight in July. Now, before signing off, I'm doing a shout out to a man that I don't know very well yet, but I watched a few of his videos. His name is Dave the Unbearable. He's also on a weight loss journey. He weighed over 500 pounds. He's lost weight, and he shares with the struggles of everything that he's gone through. What I like about him is that he's very vulnerable and very honest. He seems like a really sweet, dear man. I would appreciate if you feel led to go over to his channel, tell him Money Mom sent you, and that we support him. I think it's good to show other people support. So let me know what you guys think, and if you can relate to any of these things I shared. That's all I have to say for now. I love you, I appreciate you, and I sure hope to see you on tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye now.